Today we're going to be doing something that I should have done a long time ago, but I put it off over and over again, and it has now bitten me in the butt. Now this thing, it's fun, but braking is god-awful with it. And that's no fault of the car itself. That's actually on me. See, I originally, when I built this car, I had no idea what I was doing. So I threw the brakes together, bled them, at least I thought, and just left it at that. And over time, I've come to find out that my lines, there's a leak in, my my wheel cylinders are not pushing fluid through them at all. So this entire time, I've been using front brakes only on this car. So we're gonna fix that today. I've got new rear wheel cylinders because there's still just drum brakes on the rear. And after reading up on a couple of things, I found out that if you have discs in the front and drums still in the rear, you need a proportioning valve. So I'm going to replace all of the hardware lines from the front to the rear of the car, and I'm putting a proportioning valve from Jegs inside of that. So I'm going to start with, I'm hoping, the easy part, and that's replacing the rear wheel cylinders. There's already not much fluid in there anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and rip those things out real quick, throw those in, and then we'll move on to the brake lines. So if you haven't seen the inside of drum brakes before, this is what we're working with. Right here's the axle. This guy is what we got to take out. This is the wheel cylinder. This is what, when you push on the brakes, these little prongs spread out, and then it forces these into this shoe right here. Now it does feel like it's been working, but, ooh, that's a big old line in there. But there is still a bunch of air coming out of this, so I'm 99% sure I got a problem with this. I mean, I'm assuming that's what all of this extra crap is here from. So we're gonna get started getting that little guy out. I gotta disassemble all of this. These are all the springs that return it. This guy down here, this isn't a little adjuster for that, so I'm gonna get this stuff off. We'll get that wheel cylinder out. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do now is get the wheel cylinder out while everything is still here. I really don't want to take off more than I have to, just because there's a lot of, there's a little spring right here. There's just a lot of stuff to mess with inside of this drum, so the less I have to deal with that, the better. So I'm going to try and get from the backside, loosen up the brake line, and get this wheel cylinder out. Alright, got the new wheel cylinder in there. It was a little bit different than the old one, but the only difference was the bolts that held it together, or held it in, were just slightly smaller now. Same as the bleeder screw as well. So, I'm going to leave this side off for now. I'm going to put everything back together as far as the rest of the brakes go, but I'm going to leave this side off, and I'm going to go to the other side, start working on that, and I'm hoping that I can just leave this off and bleed everything all at once. But got to get the other side done as well as change out this hose. So let's do it. You want to see something? Look at this. This thing is so dirty. You can even see that's wet. And see how well you can see up top here. This is all wet. This, I tried bleeding it once, but that is not from me. There's not much down there. But yeah, that's not from me. That was not there before. So this is, that makes sense because I could never get fluid to push out of this side, so this one was messed up. Alright, well, either way, it's a good thing I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure these are still maybe not the factory ones, but they're the original ones when I first built the car. I never took these off. I opened them up. Of course, I had no idea what I was doing, so I'm like, yeah, it looks good. Threw it back together and thought they were fine. Obviously, they weren't. So, let's actually make them fine. How's that for a view? Alright, now you can see what I'm doing on this backside. Now, that side had some problems. I had to actually take the entire line out in order to get the brake line undone because for some reason the fitting was stuck to the hose here. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen on this one. Go. Oh, thank God. This thing back and forth. Oh yeah, that's working real well. Look at that. Okay. The old trusty impact. Oop. Give me it. There we go. I don't think my e-brake was even working on this side. It wasn't even connected. That's just fantastic. Okay, well, at least we're fixing it. Get on out of here, big boy. This thing is disgusting. Gosh. Oh, God. That's so bad. Ah, oh, that's so nasty. So much fluid just came out of that. Oh, it's as dark as like used oil. This is so bad. Ow, it got in my brake shoe. Well, good thing I got 2 cans of brake clean right next to me. Gonna have to use all of that. Please tell me not both sides. It's only one side that fails on these. See all that fluid? Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, God. It's so disgusting. Alright. Out with the old, in with the new. And of course, we went from 7/16, sorry, half-inched to 7/16. And these guys, pop these little guys in here. See, as you can probably tell, this is a repeat thing on this car. I had no idea what I was doing when I first built this car, and that just keeps coming back to bite me in the ass. So yeah, you learn, you know, what you think was good enough was not good enough, and now you pay for it. There. Oh, it's so disgusting in here. I think once I get this in here, I'm just going to take the entire can of brake clean and just spray this. Okay. Got that good. Ready for this? Oh. Look at how dark that is. Gotta get this. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I missed the towel. Dang it. Good enough. Alright, let's put this wheel back together. And then we gotta do the full brake line. So much fun. Alright, so we went ahead and took the old brake line out and kind of half put them together how they're gonna look when they get back in the car, but you can see they're basically the same except for that right there. Now, this is that brake proportion line. You can increase and decrease the amount of pressure going to the rear brakes. Now this was, whoa man, I'm looking rough. Oh my god. Now this was something that was done to these cars back in the late 60s when they were starting to put disc brakes on the front. All you need for this is really something that will delay the amount of pressure going to, god, this is so bad. Okay, focus. All this really is something to delay the amount of pressure going to the drum brakes, because it requires less pressure for drum brakes to work than disc brakes up front. So I put a adjustable one in there. You can find just the regular hold-off valves, and it does exactly the same as this proportioning valve, but you can't have that adjustability. I want to kind of fine-tune how much I want going to the rear, just because, I want to have that adjustability in case I need it. So all I'm doing now is going to put that proportioning valve in. I got the first little part of I'll show you. So this goes from the distribution block to this here. Now there's a little hose that goes in between there. I've already got that in, so all I have to do now is put this proportioning valve in, rerun this new line, and we'll be good to bleed then. I don't know if I have enough brake fluid, but we'll see. Alright, you're going half zoom. So, here's where we're at. Right now, there's my proportioning valve, and up there is a distribution block. So I've got fluid coming out the far side, and I don't see any leaks. Yeah, I don't think you can see any. But I can't get any fluid to come from... Yeah, I don't see any leaks. But I can't get any fluid to come from the back right. I'm not sure what's going on with that, so I might just have to force the fluid out. Alright, here we are a few days later. I bled the brakes. Turns out I just needed to have someone push the pedal for me to get the fluid moving through the back. I don't know why the vacuum bleeder wasn't wanting to work, but got it working now. The brakes were still a little spongy. It took a while for the pedal travel before it actually kicked in. I could feel it's better towards the very end, but I did some research and come to find out the master cylinders on these between the drums and disc drums, those are completely different. So I have currently, it's called a 1-inch bore size. So how much fluid it's pushing, just reference that as like the 1 inch. With the disc brakes up front, they need more pressure, they need more volume. So it's a 1 1/8, I believe is what I got. So what we got to do now is replace that guy. Nothing wrong with it other than it just doesn't keep up with the disc brakes. So I've got this here, and you can see it holds a lot more brake fluid than that little guy there. So we got to do some bench bleeding on this, and that is going to be very interesting to do because I don't have a bench. So basically going to be doing that by hand. How we're going to do that, I don't know, but got to get it done. So I'm going to get started, get some brake fluid in that, and yeah, we'll go from there. This is going to be probably the most interesting part of this. Alright, this is the best that I'm going to have, so I'm going to use extensions to push the actual cylinder in and make sure, oh yeah, full travel. So ideally you're supposed to have this on an actual vise, keep it level, all that stuff, but don't have that, so gonna make the best with what we've got. I should have enough brake fluid. but this is how you do it. Ooh, that was close. Okay, you're gonna fill this up. Gotta be very careful with this now. Add a little bit more fluid. Okay. I'm gonna be real careful, but it should be fully bench bled now. No more air coming through, it's just nothing but fluid. So I'm gonna put you up and I'm gonna deal with this as carefully as I can because, oh, that was close. Okay, should be good. I want to lose as little fluid as possible from the system right now. So what I did is I already loosened the bolts that hold the master cylinder in right now. So it's a little loose right now. What I'm gonna do next is loosen up these two bolts, well, brake bolts right there, brake nuts. And hopefully I'm not gonna lose much, but I'm gonna try and cap them. That way, you know, nothing comes out. Rip this thing out as quick as I can and put the new one in as quick as I can. From what I can tell, what I can read, these should hook straight up, so shouldn't have to worry about going back and forth trying to get anything to work. So I really don't want to spill more brake fluid, so yeah. All right, let's get to it. Thing is tight in there. Let's double check, make sure these are nice and tight. Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna go see how they feel. Ow. Hopefully you can see me in here. Ooh, that feels so much more solid. Wow. Okay, I was missing out on a lot. That's crazy. Okay. It even sounds a little bit different too. All right, let's make sure everything's bled. We'll actually take it for a test drive. I can just tell right now that it already feels so much more sturdy and firm. So yeah, just so you kind of know what's going on, I am currently, oh my God, currently taking it to a spot where I can actually test them out, but just, yeah, the feel of this already feels so good. You know, even just sitting here, foot on the brake, I'm not pushing extra. Sitting where it usually does. So, I'm thinking this may have fixed it. Oh my God. This feels so good. All right, hard brake. See how it goes. And now. Whoa. That's what brakes are supposed to feel like? Hard brake. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see it, but everything is flying forward now. Yeah, I could get it to brake, but nowhere near as hard as this. Oh my God. I was going to be worried about taking this thing on the track. I've got no worry now. I mean, this is just... I am speechless. That is so good. See that? We're like 500 yards away from the Walmart, and it's a shopping cart just chilling out there. Speaking of Walmart, I'm going to go in, and you guys are going to stay out here. I'm not bringing you with me. So, yeah, I'll meet you guys back at the house. Wow, I was not expecting that to be such a change. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't realize how much braking power I was missing out on. I just figured, you know, old car, it was just gonna kind of brake like crap. So, yeah, I am astonished at how well that helped me. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm still trying to process that. Gosh, that's crazy. Well, now that I have that, the master cylinder, I'm going to start fine-tuning, messing around with that proportioning valve and try and get that where I want. It still kind of feels like I have to push through to get to the front brakes, so hoping I can fine-tune that with how I'm doing the rear brakes, so it should just hook right away next time. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. So make sure you like, subscribe. You know, if you want to see more like this, let me know. But that's going to do it for this video. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.